Hello everybody, it's Jeanette from Thermo Groovers. Welcome to Thursday night, the 21st of August. Hang on, I'll put that over there. Welcome, I'm back. Welcome to my kitchen. I'll be using these babies to do all the cooking tonight. So I hope you can join me. Let's see who's actually going to enter the room. I'll just wait for all of you to join. Yay, I can see one person there. Let's see who else will be joining. All right, I hope you've had a great week so far. I've been absolutely flat out. I went for a big drive yesterday and did a Thermomix demonstration down in the tip of Tassie, which is called Circular Head. Had a great time down there with some girls. It was wonderful. All right, who's joining? Who's going to be the first person to say something in the comment? I cannot see anything yet. Yay, Victoria, you're there. Welcome. I hope you're feeling okay. I hope you're healing really well. And I hope Scott's helping out a lot with all of the things that you would normally be doing, but he's learning how to do, right? Hi Cheryl, nice to see you. And Wendy, good to see you as well. Welcome from the UK. Oh, I love it when you girls join. Awesome. Hi Lee, hi Faye, nice to see you too. All right, we're gonna get started. Hi Sally. I have a lot to get through, but there's one thing I wanted to share for those of you that have got yourself a TM7. When it comes to using the scales on your TM7. So we've got a different lid on top now, because typically we had a lid where you could sit things on top and weigh, but now we've just got this little section here, so things can get a little bit wobbly. So what I suggest that you do is get the lid off your thermoserver, right? And you can just pop it on top like that, and it sits up there beautifully. And so if you want to pre-weigh anything, it keeps it nice and flat. Okay, so that's a little tip for anyone that has the TM7. You can actually use it on top of the TM6 if you wanted to as well. So you can just sit it on top of there like that, or the 5, right? Not the 31 though, because the lid's a little bit different. Welcome everybody. Great to see everyone joining. Oh goodness, you're still in plaster and he's doing all the cooking. Yay, go Scott. Hello Janet, nice to see you and welcome back. You're back with your Thermomixes in your kitchen. Love it. Oh, hi Jenny, good to see you as well. All right, so that's a little tip. Now before I get anything in the Thermomixes and get them wet, I need to do some things with my cutter accessory before the Thermomix gets wet and dirty, right? So I've just got it here ready to go, and I'm doing the Feel Good chicken and vegetable soup, because it is soup weather down here in Tasmania. So that's what I'll be doing. So I need to do a little bit of grating, plus I need some grated cheese, which is for another recipe. So I'm just going to throw that in first before I get it wet with all the other veggies. So I'm just going to select my grating mode and away we go. All right, we'll turn it to thick and in it goes. I forgot to check to see if it was on slice or grate. Let's see how lucky I am. Yay, it's on grate. I've actually put it in and I've forgotten to turn it up the right way. Who's done that? I mean, I still use it. It didn't really matter, right? Hey, Tanya, good to see you all. Nice. Yes, thank you so much. I am loving grandmother life. It's very busy. It's very busy. I feel like I'm... you know, like Superman used to go into the phone box and get himself changed in his superhero outfit. I feel like I just spin on the spot and I've got a different job to do, and I've got grandma suit on, and then I spin on the spot and I've got demo suit on, and I spin on the spot and I've got team leader costume on. So it's very, very busy. Oh, good to see everyone joining. Right, I can see the numbers starting to go up now. All right, I hope did you get a notification from Facebook to let you know that I was live? I hope you did. I mean, some people have that. Some people get that and some people don't. So I hope you did. Right, we're just going to keep... Oh, what happened? It went down. Oh, there we go. You're back again now. You're not so high. I think I need to tighten some screws, right? Now, last week, Debbie, I wasn't here last week. You missed last week, but happy you got to be grandma. Ooh, something's getting very loose back here. Just 1 second. I was actually needed. So... you know, when you get the calling, you just go. Anyway, it was really good that I could do that. And I got to have lots of little cuddles and do lots of, you know, mum things as well. Right, I'm going to leave that in there. I still want to grate. So I'm going to leave that one that side up. Yes, that side up. There we go. So I'm just going to throw in some pumpkin and some carrot as well. Now I'm just going to fix my tripod because I can't look at you like that all night. You might get a little bit wonky while I do this, right? So just bear with me. And I'm just going to put you up a little bit higher. There we go. I like to have that visibility. It makes it easier for me to read the screen as well. I think I've got it now. Yes, apple and cinnamon chia puddings, Christy Lee. Yum, they're delicious. Yay, welcome. All right, keep going, keep going, keep going. We've got pumpkin to do, so I'm just going to grate that, and I've got some carrot. And I don't have any zucchini, so I'm doing parsnip instead. Completely different than zucchini. In it goes. Down the chute, lots of pumpkin because I've got it there in the fridge. Right, now this won't fit down the chute, it's too big. So I just suggest that you cut it in half. Let me do that. And the smaller section, I actually put that in the smaller section of the chute. Right, so I'm just going to cut that into quarters just in case. So I've cut it like that. Right, there we go. Hey Jane, good to see you on. Yes, Rhonda, the cuddles are great. I'm enjoying all the cuddles when I can get them. All right, so, well, there goes some pumpkin. It's, well, there goes more pumpkin on the splashback. It's food confetti, right? Now we're just going to do some carrot. And then I don't think I've got anything else to do. I've got frozen sliced celery there, and I've also got leeks in there as well. So that's all done. So that's all for the soup. Now, if you want to get on a roll with this, do up heaps and then divide it up and put it in the freezer. It just saves you so much time, okay? Hello, Margaret. Nice to see you on. Oh, Rhiannon, no notification. Goodness me. You clearly didn't say that you were going to the event, although yeah, I think you might have done. Hello, Ray. Nice to see you as well. All right, we've got not much left in there. That's pretty good. All right. Hello there, Lynn. Nice to see you joining. Welcome. All right, I've got these things here that I've just got to chop. So I'll take those out and dump the rest of that in there. Look at that. That's just so fine and dandy. I do love this. And hopefully it won't be too long before we get the TM7 cutter accessory as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I have one for each of my machines. That'll be great. Don't forget to take the chute out or you'll shoot yourself in the foot if you chop it up. Just that's a little tip, right? I'll pop that back in there. I'm going to put that on in a second. And you probably look at that volume, all of that grated stuff that I've just done. Let me show you. For those that haven't seen, it's perfect. Right, so all this is going to fit in the bowl. Fingers crossed. Hey Pamela, good to see you on as well. Hello Veronica, it feels like I haven't caught a live in a long time. It probably has been a long time. You've been on Nan duties as well. But you're free tonight. It's good to see you on. Welcome, welcome. Oh, hey Donna, nice to see you too. And Dee, how is the granddaughter doing? She is growing really quickly. She's hit 9 pounds. I don't know how many kilos that is. I can't remember the kilos. I still remember pounds. So Amy tells me the kilos and I go, how many pounds is that? So she's cracked 9 pounds. That's what I was told. So I'm very happy about that. So she's getting lots of goodness, which is amazing. All right, I'm going to use the TM7 now. So I'm just going to put on the apples for the chia puddings, right? So of course you did, Rhiannon. Wouldn't be royal show prep time without, hang on, I can't read that little bit. Wouldn't be royal show prep time, and you have got lots of things to do without watching me as well. She puts me on in the kitchen while she's in the kitchen doing her cooking. I love it. All right, we've got some apples. I've already peeled these with my little apple peeler corer. Right, so these are the vacuum seal containers. If you don't have them, they're brilliant. I love them. I'm just going to release that. Now put the apples in here this afternoon, and they're still looking pretty good. Right, they really haven't gone brown much at all. Actually, they haven't gone brown at all. These are actually old apples I've had in the fridge off my apple tree. So we're going to turn those into the stewed apple. So I'm just going to pop them in the Thermomix. Now, before I do that, what I did tonight, I milled up some more cinnamon. I didn't have any ground cinnamon left in the jar. So I had some cinnamon quills, that's what they are. And so I just popped them in the Thermomix and I milled them for about 1:20 and fine enough. So now I've got the milled cinnamon itself, right? So that's what's left in the bowl. And I haven't washed it out because I want to leave the flavours in there for the apples. Right? So let's throw the apples in. And we're just going to give that a little chop. And I haven't got maple syrup. I haven't been shopping. I haven't been home to take delivery of the groceries. And I'm not getting them delivered when I'm not here because Jim will get them and put them away. And then we'll have a supercharged game of let's find the maple syrup, right? Has anyone used the Coles milk powder for yogurt? Good question for Marie. Yes, others have used it before and it's been fine. The Aldi one, people have used that as well. Thanks, Wendy. Awesome. Hello there, Sam. Great to see you on as well. Now, I've just seen your question there, Marie. You've just asked a question about the milk powder. Okay, this one, chop the apples, Jeanette. Hop to it. All right. So I'll just go into my manual mode. And I do like speed 4. So we'll just put that on to do its thing. And that'll be enough because that's only a couple of seconds and that's really all it needs. Yes. And we're going to put in a little bit of water. Now, it doesn't need a lot of water. You don't want to make it too runny, and that's just going to cook for a few minutes. So we'll just pop that on and away it goes. I don't think I need speed 4 though. I think I just need speed 1. There we go. All done. All right. So, yes, that's going. Now, anything on the TM7 from speed 2 below, if you want to have a look in the hole whilst it's doing its thing, there's the hole. You can take the lid off and the blades automatically stop. And when I put it back on again, it automatically starts, which is brilliant, right? I do love that feature because I was very worried about missing this hole in the lid on my Thermomix. Anyway, I've identified I've got one. I just have to take the lid off, right? That's the hole. Okay, moving on to the next thing. We are going to make some super seedy sour Yough bread. I'm not eating bread, but if I'm having soup, I want to have a piece of bread tonight. So I'm doing that again in the springform tin. So let's do that recipe in this Thermomix. So we'll pop the water in and get that started. I don't want ferment. There we go. Now, if you're joining for the very first time tonight, this is what we do. We cook all the recipes out of my cookbook and I show you little tips and hints with using the Thermomix as well as the recipes in the cookbook. So if you haven't got a copy of my cookbook, head to thermogroovers.com.au and you can download a copy of the cookbooks. You can get 1, you can get 2. And then once you've downloaded them, you can print them off. So I like a printed version. I like a hard copy as well. So I've got the digital one on my phone for when I go to the supermarket if I need any of my ingredients. Hello, Andrea. Nice to see you joining. Hello, Helen. So hello, Jenny. Good to see you on too. So in regards to the books, all the recipes that I make on my lives are from my cookbooks. So stay with me because we're going to have some fun. Oh, I shouldn't put that on there when it's cooking, even though it's only on 90 degrees. Okay, I've got the seeds here ready to go. I should have milled these and I haven't because you're supposed to crack these. So I could probably do that. Actually, I'm not even going to crack them. I'm just going to put them in the bowl and whiz them up once I've got the yeast in there. Let's see if that actually works. If you crack them, it actually releases the oil. So I should have done that before I put the water in, but you know, I'm too far ahead of myself. Okay, now I've got the chicken in the freezer, ready to do the minced chicken for the cheesy chicken burgers. And tonight I'm going to bake them in the oven. So I better turn the oven on. Thank you, Vicky. No bread has been paying off for me, absolutely, but I'll hang them for a piece of bread. What did we have the other night? Oh, we had some mashed potato, and we had roast potato. That's what we did. And what do I want? Fan cooking. Oh, that was so good. I didn't have too many, but it's been a while since I've had any, so it was really good. I enjoyed the starch. Hello, Linda. Nice to see you on. Hi, Nicole. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so let's get on with this. What else have I got to show you? The chicken. Let me get the chicken out and show you how big the chicken pieces are. So we're going to mince this in. I need to get in the freezer. We need to mince this in the Thermomix. And then while I'm doing things in the machine right now, I've got yogurt here to show you. Now, Yvonne, I forgot to shut the door of the fridge. Yvonne, if you're on, this is what I was talking to you about this afternoon, about the yogurt and about how thick it is. So this bowl's been in the fridge for a couple of days. Maurice, it is all about portion size. I think my eyes have been bigger than my belly since I was born. I think that's what the problem is. So this one's Greek yogurt, and it's been in the fridge chilling. So a lot of people say, oh, Jeanette, I can't get my yogurt as thick as yours. Biggest tip that I can give you is to put the entire bowl in the fridge. So when you first look at your yogurt after it's finished fermenting, you have to remember that it's still probably at least 30 degrees in temperature, which is quite hot, right? So it's not had any chilling factor. So that will make a difference to how thick it is as well. Yay, you are on, Yvonne. Welcome. Hey, Sandy, nice to see you on as well. Am I going to turn the yogurt upside down, Helen? No, I'm not going to do that. Hello, Leonie. Nice to see you joining. So this is our yogurt. So you can see, like, it's in the fridge, and it's actually been chilling for a couple of days. But look how, look at that. So it's lovely and thick. And I'm not going to turn it upside down. I did that once, only once. You'll only ever see me do it once. Tracy, I'm making the Feel Good chicken and vegetable soup. That's what I'm doing. All right, apple's already done. So I'm just going to chop that up a little bit more. So it's just softened off a little bit. Let me just turn that up. There we go. We'll give that a little bit of a whiz. And then I'll put some of this yogurt in the containers whilst the Thermomix is doing the other stuff. Yep, that's long enough. And I need to take this out and then do the almonds. So I've got the almonds soaking. They haven't been soaking overnight. So with the apple and cinnamon chia puddings, in the recipe it says to soak them overnight. And the reason why I suggest you soak them overnight is because it releases all the phytic acid off the almonds. And the phytic acid can sometimes upset digestive systems if you're sensitive to that. If you're not sensitive to it, don't stress too much. You can just soak the almonds for like an hour. Mine have been soaking since about 4 o'clock. All right, so the apple's done. And with the almonds, what you'll find as they soak, the water will become a little bit dirty. And that's the release of the phytic acid, okay? Oh no, Veronica, I do not blend my yogurt ever. Putting it in the fridge makes a difference with how it stabilises and how it thickens. So even when I haven't put it in the fridge, I still don't have to blend it for the texture. It seems to be really, really good. Yeah, it is like an iceberg, Tracy. There you go. Nicole said exactly the same thing. Some people like it blended because then it changes the thickness a little bit, makes it a little bit runnier. Whereas me, I like it thick. All right. Okay, I'm going to put the almonds in now, and we're going to turn this into basically almond milk, but I'm not going to strain off the pulp. If you wanted to make almond milk, you would strain the pulp off and squeeze it in a nut milk bag. I'm just going to put some water in here. And typically if you're doing almond milk, you put in a little bit of sweetener and a pinch of salt. So the sweetener can be a date, or it can just be maple syrup. But if it's going to be a date, put it in now. If you want to put maple syrup in, put it in after you've squeezed the pulp out. Now, if you don't know what a nut milk bag looks like, and your imagination's gone a little bit crazy, visualising a nut milk bag, this is what they are, right? Now, this one is the Living Synergy brand, and I have got these in stock. I don't know how many I've got left, but these are brilliant. They're just a really, really fine material, and they're not too thick. So I made some quark cheese and strained it in this the other day. And this is really old. I've had this for years and years, and they last really, really well. I do love these. Quirky Joe uses these as well. So it's the Living Synergy brand. Okay, if you'd like to order one, just send me a message and I'll let you know the pricing, and then we'll work out postage and all the other, guff with that. Hey, Diddy, good to see you back. Now, you're back from 1 month in Nepal, Linda. Oh, first job was to make yogurt. Yippee! I love that. All right, what am I doing? Putting in the milk, making the milk into almond milk. So this is basically speed 10. So I always say speed 10 if you never want to chew it again. So we'll crank it up to speed 10. Away we go. And then we just add everything back in and cook off the chia for a little bit. Right. And, all right, that's all done there. Let's put that in. And what I'm going to do is just going to take that out. All right. I've just taken my yeast out with the water so I can crack those linseeds. Right. Put that in there. That'll do you. Right. And what did I put in there? Linseeds. I'm just going to crack them just up on speed 8. Right. Just for a couple of seconds. And then I'm going to add, oh no, I don't need to do that. I need to put a little bit of water in there, just a little bit. That's what I need to do, just so that the seeds will actually soak. I'll put some water in there and chop the rest of the seeds up and just set them aside. Right. So I want the seeds to take on the water so that they don't fall out of the bread when you slice it up. That's really, really important. Laura, you placed my name as a consultant on the mix shop. Oh, thank you very much for that. I've seen quite a few of you go shopping. Thank you, Laura. That's lovely of you to do that. And I've had quite a few of you message me to check to see if that's okay. It's totally okay. If it's up to you what consultant you select as you go through the checkout. That is your choice. You are the consumer, so you get to choose who you select as you go through the mix shop. All right, I'll scrape all this down. Let me get another spatula out. There we go. And I'll set this aside. And then we'll add this back in once I've put the yogurt in. There we go. So the seeds will take on the moisture and they'll swell a little bit more as well. Just in that very short period of time, it makes a difference. So this recipe has millet in it, and you've probably seen that in the pec section because you can get them the little millet trills in the pet section in the supermarket. And that's what a lot of people look at and they go, oh, can I use that? No, we don't use that. We get the stuff from the health food shop. Oh. All right, I've got the water back in that's got the yeast in it. Now I need to put some yogurt in. So let me take some of this. Do I need a starter? No, I don't. I'm going to guess how much this is. I have no clue. But let's see what it is. I need a little bit more. There we go. Sloppy slop. And that'll be the rest off the spoon. Look at that. Now it's really important. So, because I've touched that with my finger now, I'm not going to put it back in there because who knows what I've got on my finger, right? Or if I licked it, I would never put it back in there because you're going to contaminate your yogurt. Thank you so much, Helen. Oh, your consultant doesn't do it anymore. There's quite a few people that are not around that used to be around when you guys probably got your machine. Some people come and go in the business, and then other people like myself, we tend to hang around. All right, so I've got the yogurt in. I'm just going to put that back up to temperature and get that mixed through. So we want that nice and warm. And then we'll just add the flour back in and we'll put the seeds back in and then away we go. I'll shape it up and put it into the springform tin. I have seen some of you do your bread using the springform tin. I hope you've enjoyed doing it like that. It's just a little bit different, right? Hello there, Vanessa. Oh, you're in Foster in Victoria. Previously, Yannicki, you just joined. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let me put this into the containers whilst the Thermomix is doing that. This is what we've got here. So what we would typically do is pass that through the nut milk bag and strain out the pulp, and that's basically your almond milk. And it usually keeps just for a couple of days. All right, we're going to put in the chia seeds. All right, we'll put those in. And then I don't have any maple syrup, and so instead of using a bit of sugar, I'm just going to put in a bit of my sugar syrup, which is for my cocktails, but it's going into the into the chia puddings. And then we need a little bit of vanilla which is made with the vanilla beans. So this method is actually, I've written it up in the cookbook in Way More for Your Family. So if you want to make your own vanilla extract, bingo, it's got all the details in the book, right? And even where to get the beans from is written in the book as well. So supporting a vanilla bean grower up in Queensland. Phil, I need a little bit of cinnamon. So let's put this in as well. All right. Hello there, Gail. I did see you say hiya earlier. I missed that one. Thanks for approving my post on our group today. I appreciate that. All right, we're going to mix this through now, as well as the apple. So in goes the apple, and then we're going to cook it off a little bit. So we just put the thyme on, and away we go. It's not cooked a lot, so it won't let me use that heat, that temperature, that speed, because I've got it up on speed 10 still. All right, it doesn't cook off at a high temperature. It basically just warms it through. And I'll just pop it on reverse. There we go. That's ready to go. So that can do its thing. And then I'll put, oh no, this still hasn't got to temperature. So it's cooled down a fair bit from when I took it out. So the best way to know is to look at the little number above your temperature setting, and it's on all Thermomixes except the 37, not the 37, the 31. It's a flashing light, and when it's actually reached temperature, it will tell you when it's reached temperature. Whereas on the 5, the 6 and the 7, we always know what the temperature of the ingredients are in the bowl, right? So, oh, Dee, yours is nearly ready. Love it. Yes, Nicole, I'm multitasking ingredients. Are you waiting for me to put the wrong stuff in the wrong bowl? Because it's likely to happen. Watch me make a recovery from that. I had that happen at a demo yesterday. I had this chapati wrap recipe off the community, and it said 600 grams of water and 600 grams of flour, and it didn't register when I was putting it all in, but I'd say someone's written it up wrong and it's supposed to be 300 grams of water. Well, I wasn't going to waste it. I halved the recipe, put more flour in, away we went. It was a great recovery. It worked really, really well. No, I haven't done that yet, Dee. I'm going to do that in a second, the bead for the yogurt. Remind me if you don't see me do it, okay? Right, we're going to put the yogurt into some of these containers. This is my Greek yogurt, and I've got vanilla in the fridge. Amy and Jake are ready for some more yogurt. I think Nora is doing really well because Amy's been having a truckload of yogurt. And I have been making her some lactation food. So I'm turning every recipe that I know that's a slice or a biscuit or anything into a lactation recipe for her. And the funny thing is that Jake won't even touch anything. If it's in the cupboard in a container, he would normally, you know, enjoy all that. But because it's a lactation recipe, he's not touching it. Which I think is hilarious. Oh, this is so lovely and thick. All right, I'll get the rest of that out after. There we go. Look at all that. We've got yogurt for days. I've actually nearly run out. I couldn't believe it. And so I've put it on during the day and then just put it in the fridge overnight. So I'll set that aside and I'll fix all that later. All right, so I've got 2 big containers there. So Yvonne, you're watching. This is what you get to look forward to with your new Thermomix. And this is my recipe of yogurt, which is, I've heard everyone say it's an ultimate recipe. Yum. All right, so that's going to go in the fridge. I'll just set that over there. Actually, I'll put it in the fridge while I think about it. And then I know it's done. There we go. Okay, so the chia pudding is done. And all we have to do, is that done? Not quite. Oh yeah, that looks really good. Nice. Now, if I wanted to, I could actually just set the Thermomix to do open cooking here. So instead of the blade moving, if I didn't want the blade to move, I'd just slip into open cooking and it would continue to heat and cook whatever temperature I had it set for. So I do love the open cooking mode in a Jeanette way, right? So what size are the containers? Great question. 1 litre. They're 1 litre size, D. And these ones are just from Woolies. I replaced some of them a little while ago because some of them were starting to get a little bit daggy. So Thank you, Jenny. Yes, you can't wait to be making yours. Go you. All right. So there's our mixture. And all I do is just pour it into a bowl so it can cool down. Stout's meant to be good for milk, yes, but she won't touch it. But Jake would touch that. We've already talked about the stout, Rhiannon. Oh, Amy's definitely not having a go at that. She reckons that's not her palate. My mum used to drink stout. I think she used to use it as an excuse for having a drink. She used to mix it, I think. All right, this is going to cool down, and then we're going to layer it with a little bit of coulis and some yogurt, and I'm going to put it into the jars so then we can just grab and go for breakfast of a morning. All right, so that's, I just want to eat it now. It's actually really nice warm. Do I have a spoon in here? Only a big one. Here, let's do this one. If you like porridge, you like this. But when it's cold, I love it even more when it's cold, when it's chilled. It doesn't have a lot of sweetness in it, but the coulis has sweetness in it. So just taste it first, and if it's not sweet enough for you, you can put more maple syrup in it, or you can put more sugar in it, or honey, whichever you like, right? Yeah, I'm with you, Rhiannon. Right, I'll just set this on the bench and it can cool down. Yes, Dee, yum, yum. I mean, you can have that with a bit of ice cream or yogurt, whatever you like, really. Let me rinse this out and we'll make the next thing, which will be, let me think, what have I got to do next? Oh, I've got the cheesy chicken burgers to do next, so we might do that in the 30, not the 31, in the TM7. Let's do that. There we go, all rinsed out. All I've done is just rinse it. I haven't washed it with the brush or anything. And I'll just give this a little rinse-o. All right. All done. There we go. That's ready to go now. All right, that's got up to temperature. Let's put the bread flour in. All right, and let's put the seeds back in. And that's all ready to go as well. So we've got a bit of salt and bread improver in this recipe, and the ratios are different. So in each of, oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Hey, there you go. In each of the recipes, I've got a bread recipe. So first book, Way More Than a Yogurt recipe, is the sourdough recipe. And then in the second book, which is Way More for Your Family, that has the super seedy sourdough in it. You've fallen down again. Just 1 second. Here we go. There we go. I think I've got you now. I'm not sure why that's falling down like it is, but anyway, I'll just keep adjusting it, right? Oh, you're sinking. Just 1 second. I'll do it properly. There we go. Hang with me. We just got a righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, right? There we go. That's a bit better. Best burgers ever, Louise. You could live on those. They're nice cold, they're nice hot, they're nice any old way, really. Like, you can slice them up and put them in a wrap. They're so good. All right, let's get this kneading function happening. Nicole, you love this super seedy sourdough. I do know that it is one of your favourites. And look, you can make this into a pull apart if you want to. That's entirely up to you. So how I do the pull aparts, you can use the super seedy sourdough. But the difference is, like, you're spending money putting the seeds in, so you really want to enjoy all of the goodness from the seeds. Whereas if you use it as a pull apart, you're not going to get the value of that in your mouth. So I say just do the sourdough bread for pull apart and keep the super seedy sourdough for just being on its own, right? It's its own hero. All right, we've got the chicken here. And this is frozen, so I'm about to put this into the Thermomix and mince it up. Now the recipe says, I think it's like 700 grams of meat. I've only got 500 because I split it between the soup and I wanted to do this recipe as well. So we're going to pop all that into the, not all of it, half of it into the Thermomix. So we do it in 2 batches and you just use your turbo function. Right? And that's on every machine. So we'll just go into turbo and we'll just pulse it. Now what you can do is stop start it. So that's what I find. I love doing that. So I just stop, start, stop, start. It works really well for me on the 7. Look at that. It's just so much quicker. So you don't even have to set it to 1 second or 2 seconds or 0.5 seconds. You can just go stop, start, stop, start. It's brilliant. All right, there's our chicken mince all done. I hope this is helping all of you that have the TM7, these little shortcuts that I'm working out. As I'm using the TM7 in the kitchen, I'm finding all these new things of how to do different things, right? So when I'm on my live, that's when I can share it with you, right? So we just go stop, start, stop, start. There we go. So that's like turning the knob, right? All done. That's the other little bit. All done. Do I have a cookbook for beginners? Avon. Everyone's a beginner with the Thermomix. All my recipes are pretty simple. So if you start with my books, it is the beginning, right? And then as you progress through all the recipes, you get a lot more proficient. So I say start with the basic, which is making the yogurt, right? Margaret, you can't wait for yours to arrive. Woohoo! Hopefully we're getting closer to dispatch soon for all those that are waiting. Thank you, Louise. Now, Margaret, I think, depending on when you ordered them, we're waiting for the Thermomixes to come into port. And then they have to go through customs because it's an international freight. And then they have to get to the warehouse. And then they have to check them all into the warehouse. And then they have to check them all out. So there is a process. So when they've reached Australia, they don't go out on the same day. So we just have to be patient. And given that we've got a worldwide demand with the Thermomix, we've got other people in other countries waiting on their Thermomixes as well. All right, chicken mince is done, right? Thanks, Dee. Now, Kathy says if she can make the yogurt, anybody can. Yvonne, I hope this is giving you a vote of confidence, right? They're easy to follow and you must say all the recipes are delicious. Thank you so much, everybody. All right, what have we got here? I've got some cheese, some chicken stock, some capsicum, right? And I'm going to put in a little bit of bacon. Actually, who am I kidding? It's not a little bit of bacon. It's a lot of bacon. This is what makes this recipe so good, right? So in goes the bacon. And then we're just going to chop that up. That's for the soup. I'll throw that over there. Now, I don't have any rolled oats. I've got rolled oats in this recipe, so I'm just going to put in a little bit of flour. And you're all going to say, how much? Well, not as much as rolled oats because I don't need that amount of flour. The rolled oats give it a really nice texture. So I've just put in like 10 grams of flour. No more. You don't need any more than that. I'm supposed to be low carb, but I still have a little bit of flour. I haven't gone, you know, like hardcore on that. So we're just going to give that a bit of a chop. So we just go to our manual scrape. And remember, speed 4 if you're not sure, if you're doing anything manually. But I've got all the speeds in the book, right? So you're pretty right to go. I'll just turn that up a little bit. Yep, that's long enough. So speed 4 if you're not sure. If you want to mix, it's speed 6. Now that, look at that. Isn't that just magic? I'm just going to do it a little bit more. Right. Just on speed 4 because you've got the window of opportunity to stop the machine so your texture hasn't gone too far on your produce, right? So you don't want to puree. Who's done puree when they've done something like this? I mean, I've done coleslaw. I forgot to put the egg in there too, by the way. I've done coleslaw and turned it into a puree. Yay, Laura. Your children use the cookbooks and it's so easy to follow. Brilliant. Love it. All right, in goes the egg. We need to mix that through. I'm just going to put it on reverse now so it doesn't chop it up anymore. Right. So we just select that on the screen now. It's just going to stir it. Hello, old boy. And then next thing we're going to do is put in the chicken mince and put it onto knead. And then it's all done. So that's basically how, there's the texture. Take a look at that. Looks pretty even, doesn't it? And now we're just going to put in the chicken mince. So I generally feed this through the hole in the TM6, but I don't have one in the 7. So I'm just going to plonk it all in and just put it, whoops, get in the bowl. There we go. And then just put it on knead. All right. So we go to the knead function, which is dough, and away we go. And I can just stop it and then have a little look at it, give it a little poke if I need to. But the kneading function is great when it comes to mixing mince together because it's not too aggressive. It's really quite gentle, right? Poet, and I didn't know it, Nicole. This is right. You know, when I was going to school, or if I was doing any learning, I used to rhyme everything so I could remember it. And I mean, when you hear a song is like a rhyme, so they just put music to it. So, you know, that was just the easiest way for me to remember things. Here we go, all done. Right, that's all mixed through lovely. I'm happy with that. Now we just set it aside. I'll put it in this bowl, and then I can free my Thermomix up. So if you're doing something like this and you want your Thermomix for something else, just take it out, and then you can go back to making these balls. I'm going to do these into balls tonight instead of burgers. And I can clean the blade off. So I just do the turbo function on the 7, whereas on the TM6, it's speed 7 and then up to 10 and then back to 7 again. I do that on the 5 as well. And on the 31, it's just speed 7 and then I just hit turbo, right? So I'm going to go out of that screen and go back into turbo and just play and then pause. Play and then pause. There we go. And that's enough to spin off the ingredients from the blade. Love it. Right. So far, I've put all the right ingredients into the right Thermomix. Hello, Rosemary. Good to see you joining. There we go. The blade's all nice and clean. So not just on the top, but underneath the blade as well. All right. Now, I'm going to ask all of you to do me a favour tonight. Once I upload the live onto my page, I'm actually going to ask if each of you could share it to your own personal page. And the reason why I'm asking you to do that is because my content is only going to stay up for 30 days on my Facebook page from here on in. So all of my lives that I do, I upload them, and then Facebook are only allowing them to stay on for 30 days now. And so I just want everyone to be able to see them and view them. And the only way I can do that is if you guys help me share them. So this is just a new thing I'm going to try, because a lot of people will go back to watch my lives and they'll say, Jeanette, it's not there. I go, no, Facebook took it off because that's their new policy. So any of my lives that I do have here on Facebook, I'm going to have to download them and upload them onto YouTube. So that's the plan, Sam, right? So when I upload this tonight, if all of you could share it, if you're comfortable doing that, I would really appreciate it. Right, we'll set that aside and tidy up a little bit so I've got a bit more space. Stack them. Don't you love a dishwasher? Right. And then, I need to put that on to wash. So we pull the cook centre down from the top and we just go pre-clean. And we'll put that on just quick clean. Away it goes, right? And then I can get the bread out now. Let me make some space. There we go. Thanks, everybody. Lou, you can save the live, but once Facebook take it off, your saved live will disappear as well. So even if you guys save it, it doesn't make any difference. It's just a new stupid policy that they're actually creating. So I'm not sure why they're doing it. Apparently it's to free up their storage space. And I wonder what they're actually going to do with my content, or anyone's content, if they delete it. Are they still keeping it themselves for AI? Ooh. I mean, that'd be scary if they try and train somebody to be Jeanette. Good luck. Good luck with that. Okay, let's get the dough out. Right. Yeah, thanks, Victoria. I know it's a bugger, all right. I've said worse than that. It's more than a bugger. Here's my spatula. Now I've got all these seeds in the lid. I'm going to get a bit of blue tack out and run the blue tack around the lid so I get all the seeds off, because I'm actually quite particular about what I waste, right? So I'm going to take all those seeds off there so that they get in my bread. There we go. Now, if your dough is sticky, that's how it's supposed to be. And just oil your hands up so that the dough doesn't stick to your hands, okay? And you can throw your lid back in the arms of your Thermomix, right? Now I've got dough here on my fingers. I can still manage to get that out. So you can see how sticky this is. Let me turn the camera down so you can actually see. There we go. That's easier. There we go. Pull it all out. Now it is supposed to be like this. Some days it might not be as sticky as others, but typically it's a stickier dough than my other recipe. But you don't want to put any extra flour in it because it'll dry it out, because the seeds actually make a difference with how moist the bread is, and you don't want it dry and crumbly. Like that just spoils it. So stick with the ratios that I've got in the book and you really can't go wrong. And don't watch what I do, because sometimes I put way more in than what I really should. But it still all works, right? So my recipes are very forgiving, extremely forgiving. Yes, Beverly, you watch again when you get home. It's good that you can do that. And don't forget that the live will only be up for the 30 days. But I definitely have to put it on YouTube, right? I mean, I've got a lot of content that hasn't been put on YouTube, and I'm just going to have to create more so I can share it. So here we go. And that means sharing it on YouTube. I've actually thought about doing lives on YouTube, but I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I just like how Facebook works with, you know, letting you know I'm live. I don't know how YouTube works. I haven't spent enough time on it. Let's put some water in and give it a little bit of a rinse. There we go. And then I'll shake this up and put it in the tin. Right, we'll put that on to clean, and then I can put the soup on, which I'm going to do in the TM7. So let me just put that on to clean. Done. And we'll shape this up, right? What have I missed there, Helen? Let me just see that. Also had a blooper episode. Yes. I've thought about Instagram, but Instagram's a bit laggy in comparison, Kim. So I have thought about that, but I mean, Instagram is still run by the same people that run Facebook, so that's why I haven't sort of gone that way. Because I'm thinking, oh, they're going to do the same on Instagram. I don't know. Decisions. Anyway, let me decide how many to break this into. Make sure it comes up. Nicole, I can't do that because when I actually do my Facebook Lives, the screen is this way because of my phone. And then whenever you record on YouTube, your screen has to be that way. So I can't really change it. Sorry. All right, I need to oil up my hands. There we go. That's ready to go. So let's divide it up. I'm not going to weigh it like some of you like me to. So I'm just going to try and get even portions if I can, right? So it's usually just, I pick it up and just have a feel of it, just to, you know, feel the weight of it. And I think, oh yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Yep, there we go. Now we can do 3. Done. Now, if these don't all fit in the tin, I can put some on a tray and just do them on a tray separately as well. So, oh, I didn't really get that right, did I? Let's get a little bit off that one. There we go. Okay. This one, a bit more oil. There we go. You can see what I'm doing, can't you? Aha, right. So we'll just go 3. Done. I thought if I make these, instead of eating all of them, I can give some away to Amy and Jake, or my son Joe, and Kiara, or I can freeze them. And even if I put them in the freezer, I can still give them to the kids after. There we go. I didn't really do that one evenly either. Which one needs a little bit more? That one. I'll stick that back in there. We'll go that way. That one. All right. So now I'm just going to roll them into balls. Now, if it's super, super sticky, oil both of your hands. And sometimes all I do is just do that, or I turn them over like this, right? and shape them like that. And then just pop them in the tin. So just pop them in there. There we go. And then I put a heat pack underneath them to keep their little bums warm so that they prove nicely. And then we bake it in a hot oven. We put it in a cold oven and turn the oven up fairly hot. All the instructions are in the recipes, okay? Yes, absolutely, Rhonda, you could do a big dome one. I had thought about doing that tonight, and then I thought, oh, I'm going to slice that baby up and I'm going to eat heaps of it. Whereas if I just do the buns, I've got portion control. So yes, you could put half of that in the springform tin. You could probably do two loaves like that. Or you could do a higher one if you want a bit of height on it as well. That's entirely up to you. But play around with it. See what it comes up like, Rhonda. This one, yes, Dee, it's a 23. Actually, it's nearly 24, this one. This one's from the mix shop. So it's on the larger side. And then we'll fill the middle. I know some of you have done this since I did my sourdough one, and you really like the look of it. And I think Isabel actually talked about putting like this garlic butter over the top of it when it comes out of the oven and it soaks into it. And I think she is she Yugoslavian? Is she? No, she's not Yugoslavian. She's different nation. She's got different heritage, and that's what they do with their breads. I'm just trying to think of. Oh, I can't remember now. It's gone. It's disappeared. She's probably on here. She'll probably tell us in the comments later. There we go. All right. There we go. That's enough to go into the tin. So we'll just keep that nice and warm. And the rest of these, I'll just pop them on a tray. And let me get one of those out of here. There we go. We'll pop them on a tray. Now I could do little knots. Let's do some knots with these. All right, tie your shoelace, poke it through. There's your little knot, okay? Done. Now I've got my chicken broth ready to go to do the soup. So typically I would make the broth and then I would, turn it into the soup. So the recipe for everything is in the cookbook. But I've actually got, look here, this is past Jeanette doing this for me. So it's all frozen. And I can just zippity-doo-dah and put it into the Thermomix and then make my soup. So if you haven't given that consideration, try it. Now you can also use the leftover milk carton. So give it a good rinse and you can put the stock in a milk carton and staple it together and put it in your freezer. Make sure you write on it that it's got chicken stock in it. Because if someone thinks it's milk and they get it out, they go to pour it into their coffee, bleh. Right, that's not going to be nice. Awesome, Lou. We can help you, no problems at all. You always have super seedy sour rolls in the freezer, Marie. They're good to pull out, aren't they? Yeah. Hello there, Paul. Good to see you joining us. Welcome. All right, I'm going to put the soup on now, and then I'm going to put some of these balls on a tray once I get the vegetables on to saute. So we saute them off in a little bit of butter. Oh, who am I kidding? It's not a little bit of butter. It's a decent knob of butter, right? Let me just tip this out. There we go. That's all done. And so we'll put some butter in. In it goes. And then I've actually got, this is one of my big cloves of garlic. I'm putting that in tonight. And there's a little bit of leftover onion in the fridge, so that's going in as well. I'm just going to give that a little quick chop. And then I can put the rest of this in, right? So we'll give that a chop. Now, if you don't have the cutter accessory, you can just chop the vegetables up in the Thermomix. You don't need to grate them. And I've got both of those methods in the cookbook to help you, okay? So let's put some of this in. We've got parsnip and carrot and pumpkin and celery and leek. And whatever doesn't fit in the Thermomix bowl, I'll just put in the freezer. There we go. I fill it right up because it ends up going right down, right? Oh, I'm tempted to put it all in. I'm tempted. Okay. We'll leave a little bit out. That can go into some rissoles one night. Okay, we're going to put this on to saute. So we just do the temperature. There we go. And make sure you've got it on reverse because you don't want the vegetables to break down as they're sauteing, okay? Hey, good to see you there, Steph. And Cav. Night, Sandy. Buddy's snoring, been a big day. Oh, yes, you're talking about Bruce. All right, let me get these balls onto the tray. So these are the cheesy chicken ball burgers, which I'm turning into balls, right? There we go, you can see what I'm doing. And I've got my little scooper out of my toolkit. This is the Thermomix toolkit that this comes out of. So I've just got the little scooper, which is handy. And let me just set these over here. I might just pop these in the bottom oven where it's warm and they can just grow a little bit until I finish doing my live. So let me just set that up there. Yep, they'd be fine in there. They're not cooking. I've got two ovens. I've got a big oven and a little one underneath. So sometimes the one underneath gets a little bit warm just from the top oven being on. All right, let's scoop these out. And here on the 7, this is where you can take the lid off and have a look. So I can just do that and go, wow, that's good. And then I can put the lid on and it starts again. I don't even have to press play. It's brilliant. Right, that's had chicken on it. I'm just going to put that over there in the sink for the time being. So I'm just going to do little balls. So I'm just going to put it on the scoop and then just pop it onto the tray like that. And these are great as finger food for a platter, or if you want to do little snacks before you like have a guests around. These are fantastic for that. So look, you can use the little scooper if you want, a spoon, whatever, or you can oil your hands up and just get into it, right? So I'm going to give this up in a second because it takes too long, and I'll show you how quickly I do it. So we're just going to do little balls, right? Spray your hands, right? You can even use water if you want to, and then we can just do little balls like that. It's just a lot quicker. Now these are quite cold because the chicken's been frozen, so it can take a little bit longer to cook them. But you can do them in the pan, you can do them in the air fryer, and you can do them in the oven if you want to. It's entirely up to you. These are the cheesy chicken ball burgers, Chrissy. So these are out of the cookbook, Way More for Your Family. And it's actually on the front cover. So you can make these into bigger size burgers, or you can do them into balls like this. So these are really nice snacks for us to have through the day when we get a little bit peckish. And as Marie said, it's all about portion size. But these are really tasty. Everyone seems to love them. And they just go down a treat. And they're good for lunchboxes as well because they've got things in it that are lunchbox compliant as well. No nuts or anything in them. And if you want to make it gluten-free, you just use gluten-free flour. That's really easy or you can get gluten-free rolled oats, but that's debatable if they're gluten-free. Right. Now the rest of this, I might just squeeze them together a little bit more. I can fit more on there. And this makes quite a few little balls. So you can do half into burgers and half into balls if you want to. There we go. Done. And then I'm going to pop these into the oven. But I think they'd go really nice in the air fryer as well. Amazon have the spray bottles. Brilliant. Someone's answering a question for me. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And see, this is where I should have got another tray out because now I have to wash my hands to get another tray out. Prior preparation prevents a pretty poor performance. Is it the 6 or 7 P's? Can't remember. Jim talks about the P's all the time. All right, let's get another tray out. I'll pop this one in the oven. All right, so there we have it, all ready to go. And they can cook in there. We're going to have some leftover veggies with those. So I've got leftover steamed veggies. I'm going to mash them up and do them in the frying pan. And we'll have these little chicken balls with it. Let me put some more oil on. $15 at Kmart. Brilliant, Kathy. Thanks for that. Somebody else said they got them at Kmart the other day. They were a green one, I think. These spray bottles have been brilliant. I know. I think we created a movement with these spray bottles. All of you jumped on board and got some from somewhere because, you know, you can get them from all these different places now. And you all absolutely love them. I think you need at least 2. I know some of you have got 3, depending on what sort of oils you prefer to use. But they are good, and they've been, like, I've given mine a hammering, and they're still, the spray thing still works on them, so I'm really happy. And they don't leak or dribble. So I think they've been a really good find. All right, that's my veggies done. Perfect timing. There we go. One more. Can I get one more out of that? Of course I can. There we go. Oh, still a bit out of this one. There we go. Perfect. Now what makes these delicious is the bacon and the cheese in them. They're so good. So that's why I think they go really well in the air fryer. They won't take very long either in the air fryer. So I know a lot of you have air fryers, so give them a go in that. Oh, you have one in your caravan as well, Kathy. Good on you. Good thinking. Right, I'm just going to throw that in the oven. My nose will soon tell me how they're cooking. Right, and we're just going to get on with the soup. So let's see how much those veggies have cooked down in the Thermomix. I've gone down a little bit. Not too much though, but you can see they've sunk right down because I had that up level with the top of the bowl. All right, now this is still slightly frozen, so I'm just going to crush it up. All right, and then I'm just going to snip the top of that off and put it into the Thermomix. Now this will take a little while to heat up, and the reason being because it's still frozen and there's not a lot of heat in the Thermomix bowl. So sometimes you have to put on extra time for cooking to allow for the temperature of your ingredients. All right, there goes my beautiful stock. Now someone asked the other day, is this like liquid or does it become gelatinous? It becomes gelatinous. So it's got that really nice jelly sort of finish when it's set. And that's what's good for you. And that's why I put in my cookbook, because not everyone sort of knew how to do a good broth in their Thermomix. And I'm like, right, I'll show you how to do that. What have I missed here? 450 ml, all oil spray and pour bottles. That sounds good, Lisa. I'm going to have to go onto the website and have a look. Rhonda, you got yours from Temu. Good old Temu. All right, the other thing to go in here is the flavours. So just simple things, a couple of bay leaves, bit of turmeric, and I don't know, I can't remember what else was it. Oregano, I know that's one of them. And good old chicken stock paste. But if you don't have your own paste, you can use the store-bought stuff if you want to. But you've gone to the trouble of making a broth, so go to the trouble of making chicken stock paste concentrate. To have both is really quite handy. Really, really handy. Right. Oh, Steve's cooking tonight, Louise. Go you. It is nice to be back. Enjoy your dinner that he's cooked for you. I'm keen to hear what he's actually made. Let me know. Now, I'm not going to put the chicken in yet. I'm going to wait until the vegetables cook down a little bit and we get a little bit more warmth into the Thermomix. So I'm going to put this on for probably 35 minutes just because we've got extra, we need extra time to get the heat into it. I don't know what the book says. I can't remember. It's not that long anyway. Oh yes, Kathleen, the bean for the jar. Woohoo! Okay. And I did do another bowl of yogurt today, which was the vanilla. So I'm going to put 2 in. Right, one for the Greek, one for the vanilla. And my jar's getting a few beads up there. So this is my counter, my yogurt counter for the year. It's so I can keep track of how many batches of yogurt I've actually made. Where did I put the lid? Maybe I didn't put it on that. There we go. All right, I need to turn that on. That might help. All right, so what else have I got to show you? Hey, I think that's it. I think that's me done. Whiz bang, all finished. You've made it, Angela. Yay! Are you selling it at the cafe? I'm keen to know if you're serving it up at the cafe because people love a really good old traditional chicken and vegetable soup. It's just the best, right? So let me know. I hope you've all enjoyed that tonight. And again, when I upload this, if you could go and share it onto your own on your own I was about to say Thermomix page, on your own Facebook page, so that everyone gets to see my content, just because of how Facebook are changing things. But I hope you've all enjoyed tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night. You know what tomorrow night is? All right? It's drink at the sink while we cook from the book. So I hope you can all join me tomorrow night. Jim's bought me a new bottle of Bailey's, like supersized. He's gone from whiskey to Bailey's. He's changed man. I don't know what's happened to him. Anyway, I might be on this tomorrow night. I hope you all can join me, and we'll cook more together in the Thermomix, and you guys will be using your Thermomix way more, okay? That's the intention. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow night. Bye.